what's up?
It is Wednesday night, 12 Volt
Yeah,
Talk.
man.
We up in the house.
Yeah, with the less hot mic tonight, maybe.
I thought your mic sounded good. I just think they have theirs too low. They
Oh,
got to get on
maybe.
with the levels. Check
I had
them
to back it
meters.
down. You know, I'm a loud guy sometimes.
Come on, Kicks. Y'all got to check your meters. Got to kick it up a notch.
Hey, I know Kip's not that quiet of a man.
No. Kip can hold his own. What is going
Yeah.
on, everybody out there in the YouTube podcast, wherever you listening to us from, world? It's Wednesday night. It is April the 14th, one day before tax day, which I think has been pushed back again this year because of COVID. I don't know. I did my taxes this week, and I'm broke.
Yeah. See, my wife was like, "We're doing it early this year. We're not gonna have the headache and worrying about it until the end." So she took care of it.
It's always a headache. It's just a matter of when does that headache occur, right? Does it occur
Right.
early or does it occur late? I'm the kind of person that likes to put off the things I don't like to do, so
Yeah.
I put it
But
off.
believe it or not, I got a refund this year, so that's a
Ooh,
very good start. I haven't had a
snap.
refund in several years, so it's feeling good,
Wow.
man.
Well, that means you overpaid the government a little bit.
Yeah,
I,
so
I,
that's
I
also the
underpaid.
bad part too. That's like that's like I don't want to give them the interest-free loan, but I also
Yeah.
don't want to have to owe money at the end of the year. So it's a catch-22.
Yeah, it is. Well, I don't like owing money either. I like to kind
Yeah,
of be like right at the
break even.
balancing point, but
Yeah,
when you have multiple things going on and you have different income sources, sometimes it's hard to balance that. So it's just for me, it's a constant adjustment. But I did learn that we all need some CPAs. Brother Mark from Cardio Fabrication has one. Mr. Dean from 5 Star has got one.
all the pros
And
do.
yeah, the pros that know what they're doing do that.
Yeah,
The
we
rest
get
of us
speaking of
scrubs,
speaking
we
of
don't know nothing.
cardio fabrication, Mark. We need you back on, man. I know you
Yes,
got
we've got
update.
to schedule that, Mark. We talked about that before, and we never set a date. So I'll hit you up afterwards, and we'll work on that and get you scheduled to come back and learn us some stuff about what's going on in the kitchen.
Yeah, the Fab Kitchen. His dad's here as well. Uh,
Oh, the DIY audio. What's
yeah,
up? Justin in the house.
he's building his own Fab Kitchen. I
I
think.
see Andy. Andy Living Loud is in the house.
Rick, man, the people are here. Art
Y'all are.
Morris, 25 is already here. The
So,
crew's here.
what do you guys think about the kicker tour last night? Because I'll be honest with you, I've done the tour. I still enjoy watching that stuff again. I thought that was a great little tour, and Rob got to join in. What's up, Ed?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's not as good as going there, but just remembering being there and there's so much cool stuff that you don't realize until you've actually been on tour. And we kind of got a really in-depth tour when we went. So
Yeah, it was almost, to me, it kind of needed to be split up maybe into 2 days because we had so much. It was like my adrenaline by the end of the day was like, ooh, and then I had to drive, what was it, 2 hours to Tulsa from there or something like that, and to get on my plane. I think I left
yeah,
the
yeah.
following day though. I can't remember. But anyway, it was totally worth it. But I would love to do that again, and hopefully we can do that again
There you
sometime in the
go.
future.
Just
Sonic,
just just for John Dub right
it
there.
can't
I
it
got it.
can't
I
it
haven't had
can't
it all week.
face
This
it
this is my first one.
Canon likes to do the eye focus,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, it can't quite focus on that. You have to draw your
Mhm.
little face next time, maybe a little Forrest Gump.
Something like that. Yeah.
Have a
Well,
nice day.
I can't get the white balance right to save my life. It looks good on camera. Get on live stream and it's
No,
just
it looks
insane.
no, it looks good to me. I mean,
No.
it's just a hint warm. I mean, just a little
Yeah.
bit off, but I don't worry
Oh
about it.
well.
It looks good. So yeah, this week I know some people have asked, about Soundman because I did put up the stream a few weeks ago saying Doug was coming, which he was. He had something come up and he had to reschedule. We still haven't got the reschedule part done yet, so we will let you guys know in advance when that's going to happen. Next week we're planning on having Shawn, friend ShawnK from he's in South Carolina now. Have him on to talk about all kind of stuff. If you guys have any things you want him to talk about, like his, the awesome restorations he does with these old amps, to
Yeah.
talking about Class AB versus Class D, because he doesn't really work on Class D stuff. And he still is so busy that he's like months behind. So I know the love for Class AB amps, even though they're older now for the most part, there's still a lot of people that use them.
Yeah, I mean, who would think that in 2021 Sean's going to be absolutely booked up on repairing
Yeah.
amps? I mean,
Yeah. I mean, he's literally not taking any new work. Literally. Of course, I have something in the works with him that I've reserved some time. You guys will find out later this year. I'm so excited about it. It's awesome.
oh, I know about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you shall not tell anyone. This is like your kicker unmask thing that you never signed that you're supposed
Yeah.
to sign. Do my kip wink.
The wink, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta do the wink. Yeah,
It's gonna
Sean
be
is one of my favorite guests. You know, Sean, we get along well when we get over there and just cutting up. And
Yep. It's good
Sean's a
times.
good dude. Yeah, I mean, I totally expect him. I want him to wear the V-neck. He's got to have the V-neck with the Jordan shorts and possibly Jordan sneaks.
Well,
That's
he's
the
been
classic
working
Sean
out a
look.
lot, man. So he's like all buff and
know.
everything, you know. He's like he shakes your hand, you feel like your hand's gonna break off, and it's like I got a pretty big hand, I got a pretty good firm grip.
Yeah.
But boy, Sean grabs on like, oh dang dude, calm down.
Yeah, he's doing one of those power grips on us.
Yeah, I'm like,
Like, you
I
guys may be
ain't
taller
no
than me,
dumbbell.
but check this out.
I mean, kind of am, but so anyway, we decided tonight to I don't know, expand maybe a little bit on excuse me, on last week, where we just had a random chat. We had some things that we wanted to discuss, and one of the things I talked to Rob about, you know, is some of the things we talked about at the very end of the last show, which some of you guys may not have caught because you may have dropped off, or if you listen to the podcast, you may not catch it at all. But we talked about why, or I talked about why I set up a second channel on YouTube, you know, and it's confusing to a lot of people as to why do I have to go here to watch this video and go to the other? In a lot of cases, you don't even really know on YouTube, right? It's just
Yeah.
a video. However, the way YouTube works is it is very driven on statistics and views and engagement, and there's all these different areas where YouTube takes a look at your content and decides if you're going to get promoted, if you're going to get put like in a place where people who don't watch your channel are going to see it, things like that. So you have to be really careful with the kind of content you put out, because in a lot of cases, if people are used to watching Hi-Fi Vega to see subwoofer box builds, like that's what he's known about, and every time he puts out a video, this is what people want to see and stuff. So one day he says, well, I'm gonna do a Sony cassette player, a Walkman. I just found one at a Goodwill, and I think this would be a cool video. I agree. That would be a cool video. I'd love to watch it. But, sorry, ding. What you have to be careful of is the way that it works with YouTube is you can actually be, it can actually cause problems with your channel, and you may not have your content shared as much due to a different type of content, which people who like to watch subwoofer boxes that Rob builds may not care about a cassette player.
Yeah.
So it's that balancing act, right? We want to be flexible. We want to put out more content, but you guys have seen me change over the years as far as doing new amplifiers and doing old and doing oddball stuff and whatever. In a lot of cases, the old stuff doesn't have as many views because the stuff's not available or whatever. But the new content, and especially the cheap stuff, does really well. So YouTube expects you to get that kind of feedback. And it's funny because when you upload a video, after the first hour, if you use the little app, the YouTube Studio app, it tells you how this video rates with the previous 10 that you've done. So if you have one that doesn't have as many views because people aren't interested because you're doing something different, it's kind of like a slap, right? It's kind of like somebody saying, what's wrong with you, D? You know people want to see amp test.
Yeah, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy too, because once it sees that you have low views at the beginning, it's not going to share it, and then it's just going to continue to have low views.
Right. And the whole thing about the beginning is like the first, 12 to 24 hours is very important for your videos because that's the time when everything is shared. Usually that's when they send out the notifications, or they used to. Now they don't even send them out anymore. So with all that said, the reason I created a second channel is I've got so much cool stuff, so much cool content that I want to share that I'm not going to spend the 20 hours editing to put onto the main channel. I decided, well, hey, I'll just do this and put some more content on the second channel. You guys, if you watched any of that stuff, like with the, was it a precision power amp? There was a Bolin amp. There was, I can't remember, the Zuki audio amp.
Yeah.
Things like that. I've had it record, the videos recorded for years, but I just haven't taken the time to edit it all together and do the whole fancy Wilson audio thing. So I was like, I'll just edit together literally the dyno test and say, here you go. And I did it, and they're getting pretty decent views for it to be a new channel, but that's why, because I'm not even worried about the views. The channel's not even monetized yet. It's literally just to get the information out there and to share more stuff with you.
Yeah, I mean, and to do what you want to do.
Do what I want to do and not worry about where it's rated on 1 to 10. I could care less.
Yeah. Well, and plus, on Willie Wilston, you do what you want to do. On Wilson Audio Labs, you give the people what they want. So it's kind of the best of both worlds.
Right.
That way, some people don't want to see the old stuff anymore on the Wilson Audio, and some people do want to see it. So now you got a new venue to kind of share those.
Yeah, and it's important to understand. I'm still going to show old stuff on Wilson Audio because I will edit and do some really detailed reviews of the old amps. Yeah. However, I've got so many and so much content, things that I want to do in shorts. That's where it's going to be on the second channel. So it's Willie Williston. Willie, not Willie. It's WheelieWilliston.com. And that's what I'm doing.
And when he said in short, he means he's actually wearing shorts as doing the video.
That's right.
He's doing the video. So.
And it's funny because the audio may not be great because I may just use the mic that's built in. I may not do voiceovers. I may do a lot of music and not talk over the amp gut section, stuff like that. Yeah. But, I don't know. As a person that likes to watch content on YouTube, sometimes I like to watch things that are different. So, in the crazy Big D voice while I'm trying to talk like this, trying to sound real deep.
You got to do. Hey, I've tried to get. Who did I try to get? Patrick. I tried to get Patrick and they get a response. Yeah. Well, we've tried to get a few.
Well, I haven't reached out to Bassatronics, but Jose, I think is his name. So I do need to get up with him because I think he would come on, talk about Bass I Love You and a lot of the other stuff he's known for.
But yeah, back to the channels. Like me, I am at a point where I don't care about the algorithm, so I just put out whatever videos I want because I'm a smaller channel, so I'm not focused on growing right now, so I don't have to worry about that as much. But that being said, it still hits you when you see 10 out of 10 on there. It doesn't matter whether you care about it or not. That's just right in your face.
It is, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it, but I'll pull it up so you can see the last 10 and show you what we're talking about, because some of you guys may not even know what goes on with this. But like, let's see here, videos. I don't know that you can even pull it up that way, so maybe I can't.
I don't think so.
Once it gets past the point of I'm not going to be able to show you, I'm afraid. It only compares it for the first few hours, compares it with the other ones. But anyway, it's kind of like, I don't know. It forces you to try to do a certain thing. And like Rob said, I mean, I've been doing YouTube since 2010. So I started in 2006, but didn't start doing audio videos until 2010. So 11 years. And I've been like what Rob said for a long time. I just said, I'm just going to throw out whatever I want. And it gets to a point where you kind of reach the point of, dude, I've been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years, whatever the time frame is. And you kind of want to reap a little bit of the rewards of all of the work and time and effort that you put in. So I think that's why I try to cater to what people want to see a little more, but then having the second channel allows me to put whatever I want to there and not worry about it. But
Mark's calling us out here.
no, he's right.
Yeah, he
He
is.
he is absolutely right. It takes away the creativity of the creator, the way
Yeah.
that this stuff works. But I think, and we had Mark and I had this discussion a few days ago, but we don't think that a lot of the people that make these decisions at YouTube are actually power users. They don't understand how this stuff works for us. The ones that
Yeah.
create, they just make all these rules. It's kind of like when you work for a place that's top down management. People at the top make all the decisions, and
Yeah.
it doesn't work for everybody, but they don't care.
Yeah,
Kind
like
of
the
feels like,
government. Exactly
yeah,
like the government.
exactly. We take your money
Yeah.
and we do what we want to with it. You don't have a choice. You just have to give it to us.
Oh man. But yeah, the thing, like, mine channel is varied quite a bit, and Reverse Polarity is actually a show where it's just loosely based on car audio. And I'll pull up. Let me pull this up here so you guys can check it out. And I got a comment here, because I put these polls up and they're kind of irreverent, or they could be about food, they could be about movies. We don't always discuss only car audio. And Brandon Lee says, why not post surveys related just to car audio? Well, my response with that is because these polls are for reverse polarity,
Mm-hmm.
and it's much more car audio. I do 90% car audio videos, but I'm not limiting myself to just car audio videos on
Yeah.
my channel because it's not Hi-Fi Car Audio Vega, it's just Hi-Fi Vega.
Yep.
And that was actually an eBay name. So it's, I may do things that aren't, I won't do a bunch of stuff that's not audio, but I might do things here and there that are not audio.
I mean, I've tested some home subwoofers. I've tested home audio receivers. I've done things like that, and some of those videos have actually done pretty good. My home theater video did pretty well. The budget home theater with the projector,
Yeah.
and I'm the same way. That's why I chose Wilson Audio Labs, because I was the same thing. I'm like, I might want to do home. I might want to do portable. I might want to do whatever. And if I'm going to put the time and effort and energy into the edits and everything, it's still going to be on my main channel. I don't want
Yeah.
people to be confused. I just want people to understand the second channel is just just for the stuff that's going to be shorter or less edited or whatever, but there may be some there that people really like, and I'm fine with it. But
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're doing it for free right now. Absolutely free because
yes,
it's not
and
monetizing.
and honestly, we all have creating
Oh,
YouTube
yeah.
content. Mark did it too for years. When you first start out, you don't make anything. And in some cases, it's like for me, it was 6 or 7 years before I started making enough for it even to count. So I kind of feel like I paid my dues with that. It's like I can do kind of what I want now. But
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Ed has said it there too. You can never keep up with what they're doing. They recently made the change with the notifications where they don't send emails out to people who even check the little bell and say, "Hey, I want to be notified." You may or may not be notified, guys. And I have people complain to me sometimes. It's like, I didn't get notified that you had a video. I'm like, I don't control that. I
Yeah.
tell you guys to click the bell, but
We're gonna have to
I'm
start
not
an
the one
email
that
list.
pushes out the message and says,
We're gonna
"Hey,
ha-
Big
we're
D's
gonna
got a
have to get
video."
what's that? Mailchimp. We're gonna do a Mailchimp, get our subscribers on it, and then push the email out
Hey, I
ourselves.
mean, that's smart. That's what video creators and those other guys do, and they use it. I don't see them really using it for their videos. They use it more for marketing type stuff, but
Yeah.
that would be a way to notify people and just, hey, we can take the power into our own hands and handle it.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Um, I'd be interested in getting Jacob Viral. I don't watch a lot of his stuff because it's primarily bass head focused stuff. But I think for that crowd, he does a pretty good job with those videos.
Yeah. Yeah, I never talked to the dude or met him, but yeah,
Yeah.
we don't really turn down a whole lot of people coming on the show.
Yeah.
So whoever you guys want to see, just let us know and we'll try to work on it. So yeah, I didn't want to overwhelm people with the the discussion about that. And I do need to put one of
Yeah.
those intro videos on the second channel explaining a little bit more. But that's kind of my thoughts on it. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Sorry to send you in two different places, but honestly,
It's better
it's
this
not that
way.
it's not that hard to subscribe to 2 channels, really, right?
No, and it should pop up in the feed
Nobody
either
reads
way.
emails anymore.
He's true. Very, very, very true. He's not lying.
Well, yeah, we're stuck in the old days. That's what happens when you get old, like us.
We've
We've tried
yeah, we've tried, but he's got
very,
he
very close to getting him on, and then
yeah.
he kind of backed out. So
Which I don't blame him. He's
I don't
got
either.
he's a good dude. He's out there in the community. Like yeah,
Yeah, we had that discussion. Well, was it last week or week before? Talked about a lot of us have grown, got a boost because of Steve Mead.
right.
He would do that he did it with EXO, he did it with Cardio Fabrication, he did it with me, he did it with a lot of people just to kind of boost them up.
Yeah,
And yeah, we all owe him. And the dude still got, I mean, the things he builds and the time and effort he puts in the stuff.
yeah. Not to mention he like kind of was one of the first channels that I ever really noticed car audio on YouTube from.
Yeah.
Going through
I
the
think when I
drive-throughs
first
and
started
pacing
watching him,
out.
he had like 30,000 subscribers or something. And I was like,
Oh, really?
30,000? What? Yeah, EXO was at maybe 10 or 15 when I started watching him. And the guys on the channel here who are watching, who are old school YouTube, will remember Equals 3 with Ray William Johnson. I don't know if any guys remember that, but EXO was on there at least twice. One of them was a dude that was stoned or something that walked up to his car, and EXO cranked the bass, so the guy was like, dude! It was funny.
Yeah.
And that one got on Equals 3, and at the time, that show was getting about 5 million views a day. So
Wow.
EXO went from 10,000 subscribers to like 30,000. It was insane.
Crazy.
And then he got on there again maybe a couple months later, a different video, and he did the same thing. He went from whatever number he was, and just he grew like crazy there. I was like, man, that is like an injection of some
Yeah.
superpowers.
Mark, that's a very good suggestion. I've thought about that before because I'd like him to explain his challenge
Yes.
to people because even us, I think even I don't fully understand what was going on with the challenge and how it was laid out.
It was rigged.
But yeah, you could
Challenge is rigged.
Maybe Richard Clark's gonna reach through and get you, man. You better calm down.
No, I reached out to David, and I always mess up his last name. If it's Navone or Navoni, I've heard it pronounced both.
Yeah. From the magazine.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I've reached out and he's responded before, so I could try to get him on too, so we can see.
And I've got a lead on Tom Myers. We're gonna have him on at some point.
Sweet.
So
yeah, so we
got that underway.
So Rob, what kind of projects and stuff do you have going on right now? I know you're working, you do like 4 or 5 video streams a week, but as far as your content channel, what
I got
what are you working
so
on?
I don't know what I want to do this week. I've got video already shot, but I don't know if I want to edit that. I want to get my old school SPL run done because that is about to end, and we haven't got as much participation as I wish we had this year. And it's our fault. We haven't put out videos. We haven't been talking about it.
Yeah.
But if you guys have not joined it or thought about joining it, you can do it on Facebook. You can even do it on YouTube and send an email to 12vtalk@gmail.com with your video link.
Yeah.
And then I'll go in there
add
and add it.
I'm going to pull up the link real quick so I can put it in the chat.
Yeah. But I had Chaz. He's been wanting to see this amp tested for a while. And I figured we'll do this 802. We'll test it and we'll do an old school run with it. I think this will put me in the 251 to 500 class with this amp, I think.
Yeah, that one's 200 by 2. Is that right?
I think so. I can't remember exactly.
I think it's 200 by 2. Yeah. No.
NC, no. Arkansas.
He's in Arkansas. And I can't see to post this.
Matt Stark about to
Uh-oh.
do his.
He's holding off. He's getting ready to blow
Yeah.
people up. He's getting ready to show them how it is.
Well, I'm super. It's when Mitchell put his 150 up right off the bat. I think that scared a lot of people away. But I'm also happy that he did. He was the first person to put a number up.
Yeah. And it was an impressive number. I keep talking about it. And I've shown some pictures of the quad box and the the X50S amp and the XS50, the two
Yeah.
kicker amps. And I'm curious. I had a lot of people. They're all over the board though with the SPL thoughts about the numbers. I have everything from like 120 to like 145. Like,
Yeah.
you guys, haven't you seen the test I did with the like 5,000 watt amp and I barely got 150? So I don't think I'm gonna be anywhere near 150 with a 300 watt amp.
Hey, you might be surprised though. I don't think it's gonna be 150, but
If it does 140, I will be amazed and shocked. And remember, I can't talk. Remember, the Sequoia is a huge SUV.
yeah.
It's not like a compact SUV where it's got all that loading you can do at the back, but we will see. I will try it.
Yeah, I've picked up two different apps to try, and I'm just gonna keep them in rotation for the next old school SPL. I want to find the perfect old school SPL amp, but
Ah,
we'll see. But it's probably US amps because it's just straight out cheating all the way.
yeah. Lot 19, that line, man. That
Yeah,
line. Even that what was it? The one that was rated 12.5 by 2 VLX 25. That
yeah.
one did 70 watts per channel at 4 ohms when I tested it. So you're
Yeah.
rating it at,
That's
but
what
they
a
rated it
225
point.
does, right?
Yeah,
Two
225 is right
roughly.
at 70 watts per channel or so. And it's rated 25. But the other one that somebody posted, I think it will be good too, is the MTX 225HO.
Yeah,
So
the
I'm gonna
HO
try
amp.
that one too. That'll
That's like
fit into the
900
50.
watts almost.
Yep, that one will be a
And
beast.
well, I remember back in the day, I used to run a 225 system, a 225 on tweeters, a 225 on mids, and two 225s on subs. And people were clowning me. It's like, you only got 25 watts by two for your mids. But like, yeah, man, but it seems to push them pretty good. Because back then we didn't have tests, so I didn't
We
know. I
didn't
was
have any
like,
way to
yeah,
know,
yeah. It's like,
and nobody ever tested their Ryan HCCA stuff in the mags. They tested one 250 HCCA was the first gen one. I think it was a car stereo review. Yeah, it's like an 88 or 89, and it did 90 watts per channel. And they didn't even bridge it because they didn't have the bridging module. I'm trying to think of what it did at 2 ohms, but they didn't even test it down to whatever it would actually go to. And I'm
yeah,
like, how can you test an HCCA amp and not test it, at its rated impedance? Or how can you not bridge it?
yeah.
Come on, send them a bridging module
Or
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 understand
be
how to invert channels or something
or just be like Derek and wire that thing to the flowers
till it blows up.
until you scare yourself by popping fuses every time.
Dude, it doesn't matter. If you're prepared, it's still a scary thing.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I
I'm,
gotta
I,
get. I gotta answer this question for Bobby. So, Bobby, see what had happened was I just actually dropped the 12-volt talk episode today because I switched computers to make my streaming setup work better, have more room on my desk. So I had to download Audacity again, re-download the files. I'm working on those this weekend. I'm gonna try to knock like 10 of them out and just schedule them 10 weeks in a row,
cool.
so we don't have a gap again.
Yeah, those are gold, man.
Yeah.
Those are awesome. So much goodness. Well, as far as the stuff I'm working on, I've got so much content already filmed that is cooking in the editor. That's
Yeah.
why I'm so excited about having a second channel because I'm gonna be able to spit some stuff off. So in the next few weeks, you guys are gonna get some content. You're gonna see some cool things. So just be ready because it's coming.
Been like that for a few weeks. You've been pumping out at least
I've
one,
been
two
pumping out.
videos on
I've
each
got one.
channel.
There's one right now that's waiting to be released that's on Willie Wilson. It's another amp test, and people are, why don't you do it on the other channel? Well, again, it was a quick throw together, and it's the same brand that I've already done on that channel, which kind of stinks. But I didn't want to put them both in one video, so got to
Yeah.
split it up a little bit, give it some extra.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh man, just I get so excited sometimes about obviously I posted on, if you follow me on Instagram with Old School Stereo, I just posted the Kicker 200 SI amp that I just got in. I sent the picture to Rob, and I've already done the amp dyno test with that amp. I hooked it up in tri-mode with a little Phoenix Gold tri-mode crossover, which those of you who don't know what tri-mode is, it allows you to run a 2-channel amp into a special crossover that you can have an output for a subwoofer and your mids and highs. So it essentially turns it into like a full range. Well, it already is a full range amp, but it allows you to bridge 2 of the channels into one and still have your 2-channel output. It's really cool. A lot of people used to do it back in the day because they'd run single
was
amp
it the
systems.
XVR? Was that the model?
XVR4. Yeah,
Yeah.
they had an XVR2 that was designed for a 2-ohm subwoofer, but the XVR4 is designed for a 4-ohm sub. That's the
He caught you. He
I
caught you.
haven't heard anything from Woody. I don't know if they got shut
Yeah.
down with the fires or they got, the shipping containers fell off the ship. I don't know what happened with them, but all I know is this last one that I did. People keep telling me, "Oh, Amazon's out of stock." Amazon is not out of stock on that Harmony audio amp. They got enough of them things stacked up. They're probably taking up half of the warehouse.
Yeah. They're waiting to catch on fire. Jesse talked to me about this a few weeks ago. I think that'll be cool. I'm
That
interested to
is
see what he
cool.
does.
We've had a lot of discussion about that because I think, and I need to talk to Wayne Harris because when we talked with him earlier a couple years ago on this channel, he was working on a project to get a lot of he calls them periodicals, but the magazines scanned in, and he was going to put them on the Term Pro site, and he talked about that, and he even bought one of these fancy scanners and everything, and he bought a device that splits off the binding and all that. So I need to follow with him and see what's going on because I'm sure he's done a lot more research than me about obviously the pictures are copyrighted, the content is copyrighted, the magazines are copyrighted. Even though the publisher's not around, you're probably not going to get sued, but it's a little too scary for me to be making all that stuff public. But I know a lot of us on our own are kind of working on our own projects, so we're trying to figure out a way where we can come together and not get in trouble for sharing stuff like that because especially for me and Rob, I think the directories are a huge deal to try to get all that content. And Rob and I talked about it years ago about making like a Bible book that's got all the years, from 88 or 89 all the way up to the late 90s or maybe early 2000s, have all the models, all the specs. Yeah, just like that.
Style.
That would
and
be
if you
cool.
can make them searchable, that would be so dope. Like searchable in text, that would be the best.
Yep. That is the goal of sometime in the future to have something like that. But even once we get the scanning part done, having it so if we can pull the text out that we could do something like that is to make a physical, copy so that people could have it. And if their internet's offline or whatever, they want to look up what an Orion Concept 97.3, was rated, which is a ridiculous lie that they put in there. but then you have people say, well, if you do something like that, then you need to add the true amp test that you've done. I'm like, wow, that would be good, wouldn't it? But then you start thinking, dude, this is like a lifetime project. You people are talking about.
Yeah,
I was looking for my Orion. I think I've shown it before, but this is the latest one that I have is the 2003. It's pretty thick, but after like 2005, I think they put everything online.
Yeah.
But I keep this down here beside me because when I'm working, like I work here at home during the day, and when I get like a text or a message from somebody saying, "Hey, what do you know about this Interfire audio amp from 2002 or something?" So I'll just pull it up. I'll just look real quick and I'll send them a text. That way I don't have to research a whole lot.
Well, and if it's in a digital format, I think you could add your videos easier that way because it's just a link.
That's right.
And you could, if it gets to that situation, I'll just buy a dedicated little cheap tablet just for that only.
Or if we have like a website with a database where you could go in and you could search and you could drop down. Oh, yeah. That's some awesome sounding stuff, man. Dreams.
That's after Willie Wilston and Wilston Audio Labs is outside of regular work, and they don't have to do regular work no more.
Yep. When we retired, we sitting on the beach trying to figure out what we're going to do. Yeah, we do stuff like that. I mean, you guys have to remember last week I was sharing those Orion
While he was
guides.
on vacation.
Yeah, I was on vacation. I was putting that stuff.
Yeah,
I
he's
was
a
making it
sucker.
PDF.
Like
I
I'm going on vacation May 29th, and I'm not doing any videos.
I was having so much fun taking pictures and scanning those things in and using the app and everything. It's like, yep, that's fun. I was just sharing it. It's like, and the guys are like, well, I don't have a scanner. I said, do you have a cell phone? Can you get an app that, that does that? This app actually finds all the edges and everything and helps you line it up straight. And with those Orion newsletters, they're only like 15 or 20 pages. So it's easy to lay them flat. You don't have to worry about, ooh, there you go. Look at that.
Jesse, why are you so freaking smart,
Cloud
man?
engineer up in the house. We're going to have like a website by the end of the week.
Yeah.
With it'll have the guy with the shovel under construction. It'll be like that for like 10 years, but we'll have a website.
That and then a little clippy pop up, like the Microsoft Word clippy.
That's right.
Be awesome.
We don't have any shyness of websites, if you probably noticed, because for 12 Volt Talk alone, I think we have 3 different ones that redirect to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I have Williston Audio. I have a lot of other ones that redirect too. So I can do that part, but creating the site that has all the cloud link databases and all that, we're going to have to get some help.
Yeah. Deviant, all my stuff's on GeoCities. So just go to GeoCities/i5Vega and you'll see everything there.
And he's got the background that has all the little things that shuffle
Plays
around, the
music.
little GIFs. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It plays some of that. What do you call that?
T-Pain or something.
Yeah. You got to go check it out. And his MySpace page is lit.
Yeah. Oh, we're back. MySpace is coming back, man.
Something.
I don't know, really.
Well, we talk bad about Facebook a lot, and I saw some people post, and I'm trying not to plosive my P's, but I saw some people say that, they don't use Facebook when I posted the link to the Old School SPL Challenge. As much as I hate Facebook too, oh man, there's so much good information that's in those groups, and I a lot of times I go in and just highlight it and copy it and then put it into a Word doc so I can save it. Because some of you guys who were around before Facebook, there was a Rockford Fosgate forum, and we had Michael Schultz and me and Tom, and there was a lot of other people on there. Was it David from Germany? I can't remember his last name, but there was a bunch of us on there, and we had so much stuff that we'd built up and saved, and then Rockford all of a sudden switched and went from one forum provider to another one, and all the data got lost. So we're like, oh, are you kidding me? And none of us had the foresight to think about saving it. And unfortunately, it's one of those things that when you go to the Wayback Machine, it's because it was JavaScript or it was some kind of weird format where the Wayback Machine can't actually pull it up. It's kind of like when you try to do it now. And remember in the early 2000s, all the pages had the flash.
Yeah.
And now you can't display the flash. So it's like, I can't see where I'm supposed to click here to look for amplifiers from.
That's all thanks to our good friends that we love so much.
Mm-hmm.
These guys right here, they killed Flash.
They started killing it. But Flash should have never really been a thing.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, but we didn't have HTML5. We didn't have the advanced way to do kind of the interesting content back then. So you had to use something like Flash.
And I totally missed out on all the forums. I was never on any car audio forum ever.
That one was one of my favorite. And of course, the DIY MA. I got on that one late. And Car Audio Classifieds and caraudio.com. The one thing, and I'll go ahead and warn everybody who is still on DIY MA, which I told people years ago, and Jesse will agree since he's a cloud engineer, they don't have an SSL site. So you go to DIYMA.com and sign into their forum. You're signing in straight text. You're not encrypting your password or anything. Yeah. That's not good, my friends. Just so you know, that's actually why I left DIYMA years ago, because they never changed that and they never secured the site.
Yeah, if you even now, like if you go to anything that's just an HTTP site, Google's like, do not go here.
Yeah, that's my old school stereo because I never actually no. I think they did change it because they what's the Google host that gives you the free pages? Can't think of the name of it.
Do you think
Anyway,
GoDaddy?
they no, the Google one.
Oh,
Anyway, they enabled SSL automatically for people who use those pages. So Blogger or Blogspot, whatever it's called,
oh
Blogger.
yeah, yeah, Blogger.
Yeah, Blogger.
Hmm.
Jesse the Brain.
Ventura.
Jesse the Mind.
Jesse the Mind. That. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, but I mean, so see, Mark, I'm telling you, you know, I would make sure that whatever password you use there, you don't use it anywhere else. And I don't know, that's a little scary the way that stuff works on that site. And they've never had an encrypted password portion.
Yeah.
So just be
So
wary
you're
about
definitely
that.
on the Have I Been Pwned list website.
Probably. Just be careful with that. But there's a lot of good information. But I don't remember the last time I've been to either one. Prius
You
form.
done. Well, we love you for it though. So
They haven't heard it yet, Eric.
yeah.
That's why they don't like it.
They probably have heard it just like from blocks away.
I was talking, and this is a little off topic, but we're not going to care about that tonight. But it's on topic because Eric has a Prius. That's what he was just talking about. Teslas, all these electric cars. So I see Tony DeMore, talk about it all the time. Talks about, well, the electric cars got to be charged. You got to have a traditional power grid and all that stuff. Well, some people can use solar, whatever. But I was talking to my daughter about it, and I said, people that get shamed for driving cars that have gasoline engines or diesel or whatever, I'm like, me as a consumer, I didn't decide that Honda, Toyota, Chevy, Ford were going to use gasoline engines. I just know that I drive a car that requires gas. Sorry, that's not my fault. But if you're high and mighty because you have a lithium ion battery in your car, do you understand what they do to the earth to get lithium out of the ground?
Don't worry about that.
I'm just saying. You can't be so high and mighty on one side and then not understand how this stuff works. It's like, okay.
Rule of thumb, you should never be high and mighty about anything.
True that.
Unless you're just joking.
But see, I've seen the old Steven Seagal movies, the ones about the oil and gas industry, and I know, I'm looking at y'all because I'm going to tell you, I know they have these engines that work fully off of magnets, right? You have positive, negative charge on a magnet, and it could cause an engine to spin. It could work, but the oil industry has bought them all up. They bought up all the...
This has been conspiracy talk.
Not conspiracy. It is truth. There is no other reason why that is not
he just discovered a perpetual motion machine, and he's going to be rich beyond our wildest dreams. He may be the new. I
can't do it because it's already been bought up by the people who are making money by selling gas for me to put in my 20-year-old car.
Bridgestone makes tires that do not touch the rim and only use magnets.
See,
there's no rim; it's rimless. It's a tire.
They can make tires that last like 70. Well, what do they say? I don't know how many miles they said they could really make a tire last. Okay, I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna go way too far down that road of I don't want to go right now. With you people are gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm crazy, so it's
Yeah.
How do you recycle lithium batteries? You send them to the moon, and I don't know.
That we actually recycle them at our work.
The lithium ones too?
Yeah, I don't think that they do. It's not everything.
You think they dig a hole in the back and go bury them and then wait for them to drain through the earth and come up on the China side, and they dig them up, and that's where they actually find their lithium?
I will say stuff gets buried. Not in the U.S., though. I can tell you that. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's why we make all these missions up in outer space. We'll be throwing stuff up in space.
Yeah.
That's why the aliens come here, because they're like, why you be putting this stuff out in the atmosphere of the not atmosphere, in the space?
Yeah, just do it. Throw it in the ocean. Who cares?
Stripping down. Yeah, man, people do that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
People making a killing. Who is the? It's not Matt. It's the. Gosh, who's the other guy that does the Jason Jones Subwoofer Solutions? He's got one of those huge banks of C-Max batteries, and Rob and I saw one of these in
Yeah,
a Astro van. The dude had two 12,000 watt, legitimate 12,000 watt amps. He played demos for at least an hour. He never dropped below 14 volts.
he didn't start the vehicle either.
No, he wasn't
Yeah,
charging, and he
yeah,
was doing all these back to back to
pretty
back to
serious.
back demos. And we're like, wow, that's what I need on my test bench right there.
But
Just
then,
maybe outside of the
like all the
house,
pictures
not
scare me. The
yeah,
the starfish pictures.
yeah, they just need to be out, outside, kind of like where you put a generator and then have it like a little place with the wall for the wires to go through. Yeah, you can do
Yeah,
that.
you
Yeah,
could do it.
C-Max is great and terrible all together. You have to compress them, and treat. You have to go rub them each night, and the genie comes out, tell them, be good to my batteries and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well,
No,
see,
get
I made my daughter drive a Prius because I drive a Trooper with a six cylinder that only gets 11 miles to the gallon. So we're balancing out here.
oh, okay. So you're bouncing the
Yeah,
earth.
we're balanced here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the other thing too is if you buy a used electric car, then somebody else has already taken the hit for, scraping the
Right.
earth and getting the lithium out. You're just helping out after that. But if you buy a new one, man, don't be all high and mighty. Sorry,
No,
ain't happening.
but I'll take one because I'm cheap. And if I could get those things cheap, like if they were affordable, yeah, I'd rock one for sure.
Oh, I'd write one,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be high and mighty about it. Cafe 80s. What's he says? Oh,
Did you
cook
cut it
again,
off?
Rob. I'm sorry. Yeah, do it again. There you go.
Mhm.
Repairable. Yep.
Yeah.
And I would say in the past few years, that has been more and more difficult with vehicles
Yeah.
because of the integrated systems and all the different computers. And there's been plenty of discussions about it. I think even Chris Fix, talked about it on one of the cars that he bought and said it had like 27 computers or something. And if this one controls these parts and whatever, and it's like, if you don't have this $7,000 scan tool to decide
Yeah.
where the problem is, and then even if you do, you might have to buy a $2,500 computer module.
Right.
So yeah, give me some gas and a crank
Right.
arm and a
I'll
manual
tell you what though.
transmission. I'm good.
What people forget is like in the 37 Ford, people were rebuilding that motor like every 30,000 miles.
You're
They
right.
forget that. And now cars, I mean, you can get my daughter's Prius has 250,000 miles on it.
Yes.
So,
That's a good point too. But I think the other thing to say with that is, there's like a happy medium, I think, between
yeah.
the mid 2000, like 2005 and about 2012 or 13, where you had those cars that would really last and they weren't absolutely loaded to the hilt with all these electronic things that could go bad, right?
Yeah.
Because I obviously want to have fuel injection. I want to have power things to help out, but I don't want like the Ford F-150. I can't stand the whole computerized dash and everything that like controls everything. And there's
Yeah.
been 3 or 4 times we've had to take the negative terminal off the battery to reset the head unit so it could actually show everything again. So stuff like that is like, man, if
Yeah.
that head unit goes out, that's
And I
the
don't need my
brains.
windshield wipers to turn on automatically for me. I could turn them on when there's rain. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm like you. Give me something that lasts and it's
Yeah.
comfortable. And a lot of the older Toyotas and Hondas, and I mean Chevys and Fords too. It doesn't matter with
Yeah.
the brand. It's just there was a certain time period when they built the cars to last, and then now it's kind of like we know everybody's going to buy a new car every other year because that's what
Yeah.
people do. And people like me and Rob, we don't buy cars like once every 10 or 15 years. So we got to get stuff that
Yeah.
lasts.
We got to get it, man. You know, Why haven't Mercedes and BMW made a reliable car since the '90s? Like, dude, their maintenance schedule is terrible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind getting a nicer car at some point, but you just can't do it.
I we had an we had two Acuras. We had a
But
Acura
those are
RL.
Toyotas, basically, or not
Well,
Toyotas,
they're
Hondas. Yeah,
Hondas, yeah. But we had an RL.
yeah,
It's really nice, a '98 or something, 4 door, really nice car. But anything that went bad on that, like we had a window regulator go bad, so expensive because it wasn't an interchangeable part for a Honda, right? It was an
dude,
Acura part.
yeah,
It's like, and I was like, man, the car looks nice, but forget that. I'm going
yeah.
with plain Jane Toyotas and Hondas from now on when parts
You
go
would think
bad.
that. I mean, you would think that they would be somewhat interchangeable, but
In some cases, the parts are not,
that's a
but the other one
bummer.
was the MDX, and the MDX was the same way. Unfortunately, it had really expensive components on it.
Yeah,
Germans love to overcomplicate. Yeah. Well,
I think you're
what,
right,
what
Cafe.
happened to Blaupunkt?
Yeah, the '90s and 2000 Toyota Camrys, they're still driving around. I seen someone driving around like a freaking '83 Toyota Camry the other day.
Oh, really?
Air conditioner was still working too because it's kind of hot and the windows were all the way up. So I
Oh,
assumed
or
that
either he
the
was just
AC was still
cooking.
working. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know, man. It's everything. If you have to think about it too from manufacturer perspective, they don't want you to keep a car for. They don't want you to be a Rob or a Derek. They don't want you to keep a
yeah,
car for 15 or 20 years. They want you to keep it for like 3 or 4 years and trade it in and get another one. And then they still sell the ones that you trade in 3 and 4 years like 5% less than a brand new car.
oh, dude, have you priced cars? This become the car show, but my goodness, man. Like I could get a new truck for sometimes cheaper than the same truck with a few more features that's used and has 20,000 miles on it.
We had a similar problem when we bought my 2008 Accord because I was always the guy that bought the car that was a few years old, had some miles on it, didn't really care, and whatever. But when we looked in 2008 for the Honda Accords that were a few years old, people wanted like 17, 18, $20,000, and I'm like, I can get a brand new one with a V6 for like 26. Forget that. I'm gonna get me a brand new one. So I still drive it 12,
Yeah.
13 years later, get the same car.
Well, it's like your Sequoia. You even price ones that are same model that you have. They're
Yeah.
expensive, man. They're not cheap.
The funny thing about the Sequoias is you can get the ones that are like 2 years old, 1 year old, or new, and they're like $55,000 to $70,000.
Yeah.
Then you can get the ones that are like 10 years old and a little bit older, and they're like 15,000, but they all have 200,000 plus miles on them.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I do want to get a replacement. I am going to get a replacement car, but it's probably not going to be a Sequoia.
He's on Craft Chest. You're onto it, man. I think
Got
I
it.
think that's what happened.
Switch. CCA.
Oh, that's a good one. I ain't even mad at that one. He did. I do. We'll talk about it in after chat. But there's a problem with that Prius that is going to cost me 1,200. Well, I'm paying 600. My daughter's going to pay the other 600.
Hey Eric, have you ever replaced your battery pack? Because I know that don't they have like refurbished packs you can like slide in the
Mm-mm.
Prius? I
Yeah,
think
it's
I
not
saw
that bad.
somebody on YouTube do that with one of theirs. There you go.
Their goal was 1 year turnover rate on buying new cars. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
Well, did you see the? And I know again we're kind of already doing the after show. But we're gonna just do whatever tonight, so we apologize. But Project Farm, we've talked about him before. The videos that he
Yeah.
does on YouTube. If you guys haven't watched him, watch him. But here recently, he did a video about Makita impact driver. Did you see that? He got one locally that's made in China, and then he
Yeah.
had a friend in Japan ship him one that's made in Japan. And he did
Oh.
all the different comparisons of both of them. And then he actually tore it apart, like did an amp gut shot of
Yeah.
a impact driver and showed the difference. And there was a difference. I'm not going to give it away, but you can probably imagine which one did better and which one was built better.
And it wasn't a knockoff.
No, it was a legit. Mm-mm, it was
Wow.
totally legit, and it's interesting that Makita would make them over in Japan and not sell that to worldwide audience.
Yeah, there's. I'm kind of into tools. Like Japan has a high end tool market. Kind of like America. The American brands like Snap On, Right Tools. A few others. But yeah, Japan has some of their own that are pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that if they were going to produce them for their own country, that they would export them too. But I think you said it was $60 more, like brand new
Yeah.
when you did the compared Japanese price,
How
and
would you know?
the
How?
one in the U.S. was 169.
Oh,
So that was that's $220, 230 bucks this week on Top Gear 12-volt talk. Yeah, we've been kind of a little all over the place, but we know that you guys don't care. You just want to hear us talk about audio and YouTube and projects and what things we have coming. But again, I've been I, Rob knows how it is. Sometimes when you get stuff in and things perform and just you have fun with it. And I've been having a
yeah.
lot of fun lately with the audio stuff. So I've been happy. It's my happy time. Even though I still want to do my SPL run, definitely I'm going to try to get that done before this weekend, but it may be this weekend before it happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that too, but it won't be a video for this weekend if you guys are waiting for that. It'll probably be next week.
That's my goal. I've got. I'll just spill it here since you guys are here. I've got a Power Hog amp coming,
Oh,
so I want to test that as soon as possible so you guys can check it out. But I also want to do my old school SPL run. So we're gonna see how the time lines up.
yeah. Yeah, I think we definitely the time has really just gotten away.
Yeah, it has.
I haven't checked the Birch
The birch at
lately.
my store is still $60 ish, which is what it always is. But the plywoods went up $20. So a regular sanded ply is like $50 and birch is $60.
Wow. Yeah, I
So
haven't checked lately. I don't build a lot of boxes, so I'm not the one to ask for that. But I know a lot of stuff is going up. Even in the regular grocery store, man. The normal stuff that you buy is going up. Everybody's reaching into your pocket.
yeah, we got to. Uh oh.
So Sound Doctor's asking about oh. Yeah,
Which one?
Sound Doctor's asking about Soundman. We talked about that at the very beginning. Doug had to reschedule, so as soon as we get a new date set up, we will let you guys know. But he's definitely coming on, so he will be back, or he will be here, I guess. Um, and then we've got several others already lined up too. Yeah, so I guess that's about close enough to being it for the regular show. We'll go ahead and sign
Yeah.
off and let people know that we're gonna have ShawnK next week, and we'll try to get Mark from Cardiff Fabrication back on. And we've got all kind of fun guests coming up. So if you guys have specific questions, start thinking about them, about what you want to ask these guys, because we'll definitely share them. But make sure you check us out, wilsonaudio.com for me. Check out High Five Vega for Rob. And Rob also does sound advice. You do
Yeah.
this show, which is 12-volt talk. And then you do reverse polarity with Dean from 5 Star Car Stereo. Whew. And then
That's it.
sometimes you and I both do the Kicker Unmasked Live
And
show.
I've all told you for next week
That's
already.
cool. I was ready to be on. I was ready to be on
I
last
know.
week because I was watching
Yeah.
right there along with you. But that, in my opinion, is one of the best produced car audio streams on YouTube. They've
Yeah.
obviously got the money to have all the equipment. They have extra people. Rob and I don't have extra people here helping us. Otherwise, we would be just as good as them.
And they make shirts for little bearded dragons and
Yeah. What's up with that? And they give away stuff every show. It's like, dude, I wouldn't
yeah.
have anything left to test if I gave away all my stuff like they do. But I'm sure they make a little bit, covering it, selling stuff. But they do a great job. But yeah, Rob was on this week. So if you guys haven't seen it, go watch the Kicker Unmasked. They do a tour, and they make it through about half of the facility. And Kip does a real good job explaining things, and then Rob is on the stream as well, kind of giving our experience of when we were there and the things that we're really shocked about and things that we really enjoyed. So make sure you check that out if you get a chance. But I'll be on next week, and we'll try to get Rob and see if he can come back on too, because we both need to be on. Honestly, we were both there at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So I'll volunteer you back.
Yeah. I'm always sitting here. It was kind of a last minute thing on Tuesday. I was sitting there. I had dinner, and Kip texted me, and I was like, you know what? Kicker asked you to be on. You got to be on.
Yeah, I mean, dog, all right. Hey, we like to work with Kicker because they, it's
they put up
scratching
with our
each other's back. They're helping us out. We're helping them out, sending us some traffic. We're big fans of their products and the people that work there and their whole company mantra. We've talked about that a lot, so I have no problem doing that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're here at the end of this show, I guess. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Yeah,
Rob?
I've got homework for the audio only listeners. If you listen to this on audio only feed, send me an email at 12etalk@gmail.com to just tell me you only listen to this on the audio feed. I want to see, I see the numbers, but I don't know how much people dig it or don't dig it, or are we wasting our time or what?
Yeah, is there anything that we're missing? I mean, we
Yeah.
try to, I guess, explain things so that it can work as audio, and we don't really show only just segments of video or things on the screen that we don't explain, or maybe we do and forget about it. But yeah, you guys let us know, because that is important to us. We want to make sure that the audio experience is all that it can be, because we know that just our radio voices aren't always enough.
Yeah, and Derek's
Sometimes.
over there trying to pop his peas. Please
I'm
bring peas
trying
pronto.
not to pop my peas. Hold on, I can stop that. Are you ready?
Yeah, he's got a filter. He got a filter, pop filter, y'all. There you go.
I have an extra one.
It's too bad they're so ugly.
It is kind of ugly. It's hard to,
Yeah, and it's
I put it
cover your
down.
whole face up.
Yo, forget that, man. It's got a
No.
it's got a windscreen on it already.
Yeah, good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough. But anyway, yeah, you guys let us know. Send us an email. Let us know what you think about the audio stream only, because I know Rob spends a lot of time doing the edits and all that.
Yeah, it's not too much time, but I also wondered, would they want to hear the after show? It's a lot like this show has been.
Yeah, and I kind of think, leave it in. If they want to stop listening, they can just stop.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do. We're gonna maybe start including it.
Yeah.
Just don't even tell them. Just start doing it. Hey, you got extra.
I actually done it this week because it flowed right in, because it was kind of a loose show.
We didn't really sign out.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing this week. We're not signing out, folks. It's going to be longer than an hour. We're going to go to the after talk. You guys are going to hear what we're going to talk about with our peeps up in the chat.
Oh, and I could tell you about, let's just start it, $1,200 repair on the Prius.
Ooh.
So my daughter complains about her air conditioner not working. I was like, I'm not great with air conditioners. I checked the levels. Everything seems fine. The Freon and all that, or the R12, R32, whatever it is. So I was like, take it. We'll get it to the shop and see what they say diagnostically. It is what do they call it? It's the temperature sensor for the module that's inside the dash. It's a $40 part. It is $800 in labor. They have to pull the whole dash out. And I was like, well, I mean, I could do it myself. It's not too bad. No, you have to pull the entire dash out. And it's it's not the condenser unit, but I can't remember what it is. But it's that unit, a temperature sensor, and another piece that they need to replace. They don't have to replace those other two, which would shave like $400 off. But if it breaks again, I have to pay $8 more in labor.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you change your timing belt, you always change your water pump. You don't just not. It's like, I don't care that it's fine. You just replace it while you're there. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And I told my daughter, I was like, listen, you're 18 now. You make about $600 a week. Like, I'm not paying this all.
Ooh.
I was like, I'll pay. I told her, I was like, I'll split it.
Yeah.
I got
$600. You have to get into the real world here soon, kiddo.
Yeah.
And understand how it works.
Yeah.
Daddy and Mama ain't gonna always give you the free ride. You have to understand it. All that money you make is not always for fun stuff.
Yeah. Which, with her, she's a very good saver. She might be cheaper than my wife. It's not. I'm pretty cheap myself. My wife is next level, and then my daughter might even be the next level. My son, on the other hand, this dude, he'll spend all his money, but he'll buy you if he's got $5 and you want a burger, he'll buy you two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that kind of good.
Joaquin, sorry I'm late.
Of course. Of course.
It's because you keep stealing everybody's 6x9s.
Yeah. And then wires them up in the house.
That's right. You wire them up at 0.203 ohms.
Oh, he's had his whole dash apart. Do I need to drive to Oklahoma? I can buy the parts.
Well, Rob, if you can find a way to get them to let you video this and create a video about it, you can write it off.
Yeah.
Who's going to watch that?
Nobody.
Could be like 200,000 people that want to watch that. Who knows? Obviously, if it's a big problem and it's a Toyota, that's two things that you don't typically hear about is big problems in Toyotas, except for like door latches and stuff with my Sequoia. I finally found a metal one because the plastic ones kept breaking, but it's like the things are rock solid other than just a few little nagging.
Well, it's just a small little piece. Like the actual part is not messed up.
Right.
And it's what gets you. It's the labor that gets you. It's not even the part.
Getting to it.
And it has 250,000 miles on it. So
so you can't complain. I mean, yeah. Wait, your parents give you money?
Who said that? Yeah, no kidding.
Well,
I didn't have AC in my car.
Oh, sorry, I mean to override you there, but I just had to put this one up there because when anybody says I'm right,
Yeah,
I get that so few because I'm usually the big dummy. So sorry, go ahead.
There needs to be a segment that Big D was right, and you just every time you're right about something, you come back and be like, "Yeah, I was right about this."
It won't be very many segments.
I didn't have there until I got the Trooper. Like the Suburban air conditioner was broke. I just never fixed it because I drove it back and forth to work.
I didn't have an automatic car until I got the 2008 Honda Accord. Imagine that. I never had an auto. Everything was manual before that.
I like manuals.
Me too. I miss it.
Yeah. But see, Mark, the true tough love was to be like, hey, guess what? Either you come up with $1,200 or you just don't have air conditioner.
Yeah.
But I'm a little softer than
roll them windows down.
Yeah. That's called that 260 AC.
Yep. Well, the Prius don't accelerate that fast, so it's kind of hard to.
Yeah. It's tough, man. It's tough in Arkansas and Texas without it.
I can do it if I had to, but like having kids and stuff in the car, no, it's too miserable for younger kids. But yeah, can definitely do it. Yeah, no, I think isn't it the new Jeep Wrangler? Don't you have to tear apart like the whole dash just to replace the speakers? Didn't Dean tell us that, or somebody told us? Mark should know if he's still here.
Right? Didn't he just do that?
Yeah, I think you have to tear up quite a bit to get to the speakers.
Ridiculous.
And they're 4-inch speakers too. It's like all that work for 4-inch speakers. Are you kidding me?
I'll just glue them onto the front of the grills.
I'll wait till the Kicker KS pod things come out, and we'll just use some high strength Velcro and stick those things everywhere.
Well, that's what me and Dean were talking about the future of car audio a few episodes back, and it's like eventually, he's saying, and I think it's true. Eventually, we're just going to be bypassing the factory system altogether. And
I think
doing something totally, using stock locations maybe, but not the actual source unit.
Well, they're getting so close with the amplifiers and processors and everything where you can just hide a volume knob and then connect everything through your phone that you can pretty much do that. There's not any need to really do it any other way. It's just the convenience, of having that huge display they're doing on so many of the newer cars and having like your tracks and having your little VU meters, and you've seen the Jeep with the Macintosh. We talked about that one a few weeks ago, I think. The Macintosh head unit. You've seen that, right?
Yeah, that's sick.
The Jeep
On the
Grand
Jeep.
Cherokee.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
probably terrible inside, but
$17,000 extra dollars for that
no, it
package. I'm
isn't.
sure. I don't know.
Oh, I
I
thought you were
brought it
saying
up.
a real number.
It might be.
It could be.
Somebody go check real quick and tell me how much extra it is for the loaded Macintosh package. I bet it's at least 8,000.
There's a couple systems that like Volvo had Dyne Audio, and they had like people still use
Really
those
good.
speakers.
Oh yeah. Well, didn't we get some deets that the Macintosh head unit was actually made by Alpine?
That's Dean told us that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This is after talk. This is just me and you, so
Yeah.
nobody else is listening. They don't know stuff like that. I've talked to a lot of people that have the Macintosh car amps, and they've tried to reach out to Macintosh, and it's still like nobody who still works at Macintosh knows anything about the car audio stuff, because I think all the people from the 90s have either retired or moved on or whatever, so they don't have a whole lot of knowledge there of Macintosh. I think it would be cool to have, if they did, and have somebody like that worked in the 90s at Macintosh and could talk about that on the assembly lines and everything with those super high end.
Yeah. They have
That would be.
Don't they have a history on their site?
I got a book. I think I've shown the book, hadn't I? I've got that big, thick, huge, just like $150 book that's got all the history of Macintosh, and it's got a section in there for car audio.
I'm looking something up I want to show you.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Well, I'm going to grab the book real quick while you're doing that.
Yeah. All right. I'll show the people so they can see what So I messed up and I joined a Facebook page or group, an old BMX group, a new one.
$200 for some handlebars,
dude. I was looking at the frame. The frame and fork is pretty insane.
Why is the range from $199 to $259? What is $259? The chrome?
It's the coating. You can get powder coated. Let me see. The unfinished. Wait up. It's the sizes. It's got to be.
Big boy.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, they're sold
big
out.
Boy chrome. Big boy chrome.
Holy. That's like putting Hutch to shame.
Yeah.
I think the Hutch handlebars are $129.
We're pretty close to that price.
Or
far off.
Probably.
Oh, here you go. A 24-inch frame and fork, $750.
See, but we need a 26 or a 29.
Yeah.
24 is just not quite big enough for us. But it is nice. Oh, there's a 26.
Yeah. I don't like what they got. What's the powder coating?
Is that the only color? Is it coming black and chrome?
We get Fiat Candy White. Ooh. Oh. Why don't it show you?
Yeah, we need that picture. Wait. There's the blue.
No, those are different bikes.
Oh, there's the 29. It's sold out though.
Oh, you can pick the decal colors too. Teal, flat candy white with teal.
I just wish they would put those mounts on the front forks too, so you can do the same brakes on the front if you want, and not just have on the back.
Oh my gosh! So a
1,010.
That's just for a frame and fork.
Dude, the Hutch is like $700, and I thought that was crazy. I didn't know the Elf was that much more.
Me neither, until I started seeing them on this page. My goodness.
Those handlebars are sick, though. You're right. But, God, $200 for some handlebars.
That's,
I think you have to make several videos of that.
Let's see how much the goosenecks and all that are. I bet they're pretty expensive.
I bet they are, too.
Oh, wow.
60. That's a seat clamp.
That's a seat clamp.
$66.
The stem's $115.
That's not that bad. I mean, the Hutch stem's like $120, $130, so...
You got a seat post for $45. Cool. I just hang that up on the wall. I love
those. I love those laid back the way they do it like that. That is so cool. I don't know if it'll hold my heavy butt though, without bending.
Yeah.
Chain tensioners, $60. Wow. I never used chain tensioners back in the day. I guess I did, but didn't understand or something. I think they were built into the Haro, and I never even knew they were there.
There's the pads.
Hey,
Oh,
you can
wait
get
up.
you a T-shirt. Here you go
Okay.
for $30. You can be official
No, I
elf.
can't look.
Oh, they
They
don't
don't
even
have
go to
fat guy
extra
sizes.
large.
Dude, I would buy this live. I would buy this right now if they had a 3X.
That is, yeah. How can people not at least have a 2X?
People that ride bikes are skinny guys
I
still, I guess.
guess.
Except us. We're the only big guys out here trying to ride these little bikes.
Yeah. I don't really try. I tried when I got my when I repurchased my 20-inch Haro Sport. Actually, the one that I got was the remake. Yeah, you could buy a lot of
Two or three
6x9s.
sheets. 2 or 3 sheets of MDF probably. Oh.
So this is the book, and dude, there's people on eBay that are selling this thing for like $300.
Wow.
But
I mean, that
meta-
book wasn't cheap originally, was it?
No, it's a $150 book. But I mean, they've got all like a bunch of build pics in here. They got so much history. I don't even know how many pages it is. It's a lot. It's like over 300 pages. See, and it's got the dates.
Yeah,
I
that's
know it's
awesome.
probably hard to see from the reflection, but it's got.
Does it
dates
have the
of when they-
cardio in there?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah.
1994, they introduced car audio products, including the MS468, the first automotive speakers. So,
The first automotive speakers from them?
from them, yeah.
For all time?
No, not from all time. I know I'm way off mic. Sorry. I'll try to.
I can still hear you.
I was going to see what the page. It does have the big dog in here, the 4000M. Trying to find it, but they've got so much cool stuff in here. This is like the coffee table book that you never want to put on a coffee table.
Yeah, you don't want people.
You don't want people to mess it up.
So Cafe 80s was saying, was all the car audio made by Clarion?
Yeah, well, so here's the misunderstanding part of it. It's not that it was made by Clarion, but Clarion bought Macintosh. So they owned Macintosh for a certain period. And during the time Clarion owned Macintosh is the same time when they did the car audio. And Clarion also did their amplifiers that had that same circuitry.
Yeah, it was ADDZEST, something like that.
So that was the deal. And I think if it's not in the book here, that's definitely on one of the websites that they...
I had a couple component sets, and I thought they sounded pretty good, but... Oh, yeah.
So there's the
big
dog.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some of the amps and processors.
Doesn't Vin have the big dog in his...
Yes, in his car. Yep.
Yeah,
that he still competes with.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the amps are much better, much nicer than the speakers. And the speakers are good, but I think the amps are really where it's at with Macintosh.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to ask Shawn next week what he thinks about the Macintosh. Because I'm going to let him work on a couple of mine.
Because I've talked to him about the speakers before when I had them.
Yeah. Yeah, from what I remember that he said about the amps, he wasn't overly impressed with them.
No.
But we'll see what he says. We'll ask him next week.
I got
you
to
guys
update.
Remind me.
Remember this disaster? So my wife...
Did you pay your kids $5 to pick them all up?
My wife, she's got a touch of the OCD. And I was like, I'm just going to throw all these away. She's like, no, don't throw them all away. I said, they're all messed up. And she said, I will separate them.
Wow.
And I was like, you're a hero and a saint.
No doubt.
And I hope I don't drop them ever again.
I think you should test her, Rob. Do it one more time.
She's a very good woman. She probably would do it again. But if I done a third time, I might get the little head slap like when you're a kid.
Yeah, you probably should. Even at 2, you probably should.
I didn't even get to show you this that come in. Let's see
what
if I
that
can get
is.
to focus.
It's another Canon camera. It looks like
it doesn't want to focus on itself.
It doesn't. It doesn't want to focus. It does. It must not see its name. Put your hand in front of it, and then maybe it will.
Yeah.
There you go. EOS, what is that?
Well, look, it's not the camera. That little pancake lens. It finally come in.
Oh, you're 22.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
finally come in.
Nice. That's the one I used last week for
Yeah,
our stream.
I thought about. I might
What do you
switch
have
mine.
on right now? Do you have on the 30 Sigma?
Yeah, the Sigma 30 millimeter.
Yeah, that's a dope lens too.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if I want to switch yet. So I might try it tomorrow on tomorrow's
I
stream.
bet the Canon probably focuses a little faster,
Maybe.
but I think the Sigma is obviously it's a bigger f-stop, so it's a better overall lens. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a cool dude. Now, what about your Mac Mini? Has it come in yet?
Yeah, that's what I'm running on right now.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
It works
I think
fine.
I think the internet works better too. I think it was that USB-C plug on the laptop because that's how you have to do Ethernet on it. Well, I'm
Okay.
hardwired now, and it seems better than it's been.
Oh, cool. So you didn't have any problem connecting your USB to HDMI adapter and all that stuff? It configured
No,
fine?
plug and
Cool.
play. Didn't even have to download drivers.
Sweet. I'm
Now,
gonna get me a Mac Mini.
yeah.
But
Well,
I'm
see,
gonna
I wanted to test it with a cheaper one. I'm probably gonna get the M1 like you later,
mm-hmm,
but I wanted to make sure, like on a cheaper one,
that
that it's
everything
gonna.
works. It
Yeah,
just does. We're gonna start turning the Dean
yeah.
for
He's
long.
infected us.
Well, we've been using the other devices. It's just hard to switch a computer when they're well. The minis are not that more not so much more expensive than the
Yeah,
others, but it's like for stuff like this, we don't. I know at least I don't use a computer desktop the way that I used to use one and need it. So if I
yeah.
use it just for streaming and it's something like the Mac Mini that'll work, and I don't have to worry about all these flipping Windows 10 crappy crap updates that lock my computer up and it doesn't work anymore,
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Let's see. We sold Macintosh. I saw that. Let's post it up here. The speakers couldn't. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The ADS and Nakamichi for sure. Those are.
That's kind of the way I felt too. Like the speakers were good, but they weren't like on the level with the amps.
They make some really high end home speakers, though, and they have for a while.
Yeah.
Macintosh has. And I never really knew, about that line they did. I always thought they were just amps.
I got the 5G vaccine. That's what it is. Boosted it.
Well, just remember when you get the vaccine, we're all already into Matrix anyway. So when you get the vaccine after the second one, then they can just remote control you from inside the Matrix. Because
Yeah.
right now you're just kind of sitting out there in your pod, and they can just monitor you, but they can't actually control you. But once they inject you with all the little, the little tracker device and the DNA altering stuff.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, if you guys pull me out of the Matrix, I'm not helping you with your plan. I'm gonna rat on all of you and have the robots put me back in the Matrix as a rich person.
And you're going to
So
eat steak, and you don't
I'm
care
gonna
that
eat
it's not
steak.
really a steak, but you're
No,
going to
I
still
won't.
eat it.
I won't, because
I
perception
don't
is
blame you.
reality.
I don't blame you. Your mind makes you do things.
Yeah. So
Your
don't pull
mind
me out of
makes
the
you see
Matrix.
things that
I'm
aren't
not the guy
there.
that's gonna help you.
But you do want them to pull you out because you want to be rich and have a good steak, and then you can go back in.
Yeah, but I also like the people, so I don't want to betray them. I'm just telling them if they pull me out of the Matrix, I will betray them.
Okay. It's funny. People are still commenting. They have no idea what we're talking about, probably. Like, what are they talking about? Matrix and plug back in and
Yeah.
getting a slap in the back of your head is what somebody said. What? Back to his spot. Oh. Yeah, I was on vacation last week, man. We already talked about it.
Yeah.
And I still did the show and still did a video and still did everything else.
Yeah. They got me.
Well,
too.
I know they're gonna be tired of me and my talking, just like my wife is. Like last week, she's like, "You talk so loud. Can you not just be more quiet?" I'm
Oh,
like, "You
that's
have to
because
be
she's close to you.
enthusiastic."
Because she was too close to you in
I
the
say,
rental.
if I talk like this on my video, then people say, "Big D,
Yeah.
you're not very enthusiastic. What's wrong? You're not feeling well today? You're not excited about the product?" I don't
That's
know
why
if
I
that's how they.
started off on a low note. I just
I don't know
Ben
if that's how they
Stein,
really
man.
talk. I just kind of made up that voice, but
Yeah, so my wife
yeah,
does. She has a voice for like if you're a guy that she wants to make fun of, you all have the same voice.
I made that one up too. But yeah, it's only when you watch a video back and somebody is not being enthusiastic, then you understand the importance of trying to emphasize certain things and be enthusiastic. So that's all I'll say about that, because it's hard to be
Yeah,
enthusiastic talking to a camera or doing a voiceover. It's just something you
especially
have
in
to
a
learn.
voiceover, because you
Yes.
may have watched this clip 20 times doing your voiceover.
Yeah. Or you may be
So,
tired. It may be, after
yeah,
a long day at real work, and you're
yeah.
trying to get a video done. It's like, I just want to get this thing done. You say, well, here we go for the 1 ohm run. Oh, it made its power. Yay.
That's how I just come in like a wrecking ball yesterday. Went on the kicker stream.
Well, I've been on there before too, and they told me to turn it down. And it's like, I've got the same level that you and I use here. And
Yeah,
I just think they have a lower threshold level that they use, which I'm just going to tell them to turn it to 11 on their side, because they're used to doing that. All their gains have 11 on them, right?
yeah. I mean, just turn
Crank
it
it up.
up, crank it up.
Crank it up.
I thought you were living loud. Turns out you weren't.
Oh, you should have said that. You
I'm
should
gonna
have
say,
said that last night, man. That
I
would have
was
been hilarious.
always a day late and a dollar short.
I'm telling you, I might have to steal that one if it works next week. Grab your inner Hulk. Yep.
Yeah,
Voiceovers are a pain. Well, Mr. Wheelie, it's hard to even say it. He uses the
Road.
Rode Wireless Go, and he uses that as his audio, and he ain't worried about. Of course, some of the videos that y'all are watching are just on the camera
Camera.
microphone, and I'm boosting the heck out of that joker to get it loud enough so you can hear it. So don't expect a lot.
I like capturing live audio when I can. It does help in the editing process a lot.
Yeah, it saves you a lot of time throwing stuff together.
But you don't get that silky smooth sound like you want sometimes.
Silky. You don't get that Shure audio. I was trying to read. I thought I saw. Ooh, sorry, Fiona. Interesting.
You big dummy.
I often wonder if somebody's gonna come back from that show or something and be like, "You're using a copyrighted content," and
On
pull
which
all
one?
those the you big dummy thing. Because I mean, that's
Oh,
actually Red Fox saying that.
yeah.
So I'm wondering, should I say it and just get rid of his thing? But then people are gonna not understand. I've tried to pull it out the video clip now and mainly just use myself with that in the background.
Yeah.
I don't like using anybody's other content, but sometimes it's like you gotta have. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to do a bunch of different skits where I do myself making dumb faces and stuff, and just start using that,
Yeah.
because I.
Well, it's nice because people have a point of reference for it, especially people watching old school. You
Yeah,
know,
they know
these
what
new
that
kids
is.
wanting their amp dyno tester like that. What is this? Why does he keep
What
putting
is?
this in here?
Yeah, what is this you big dummy thing? I have no idea. I'm like, you guys got to watch some cable TV and some reruns to understand.
Oh, speaking of which, do you got HBO Max?
Yes, I do.
I've been
What do I
watching
need to
Doom
watch?
Patrol. Doom
What?
Patrol. D-
Dune or Dude?
Doom, like the
Doom.
DC. Yeah, Doom Patrol. Uh, Brendan Fraser's in it, and he's not. He doesn't look anything like you remember him.
That's funny. I'll have to check that out. I I watched the DC. What's the other one with it has Wonder Woman and it has all of them in it?
Justice League,
Yes. So explain to me.
the Snyder Cut.
Yeah. So it's like I was watching. I'm like, I've seen that part with Wonder Woman before. What am I missing here? Is it just like a super extended version or something?
Yep, that's
Because
exactly
it's
what
like
it is.
4 hours or something long. Is that what
They
it is?
reshot they reshot a bunch of scenes, Zack Snyder, and then he
Oh,
recut the whole film. So a lot of the scenes he did use, but then
okay.
he has reshoot. And if you notice in the second one, you get more of a story about Flash and Cyborg.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't watched the whole thing because when it got to the part with Wonder Woman, I'm like, this is one of my favorite parts of the other one. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, is this just, I didn't watch the whole other one? I don't get it. So I stopped, but I'll
yeah,
try to catch the full thing.
the
Uh,
bad time.
gorgeous. My wife loves when you say gorgeous when describing the amp guts. Okay, well, maybe I just need to get like a Vanna White or a hand model or something, to kind of do the show off the amplifier guts.
Yeah,
I don't know. They are gorgeous. Some of them are gorgeous. I'm sorry. Yep.
especially the Amazon amps.
This last video that I just did, we talked about how things have been doing overall. This last one's at 46,000 views, and I just released it on Sunday. So that's a
Oh, that's
that's
the
pretty good.
Harmony.
The Harmony Audio, that's really good because compared to the previous ones, the Blaupunkt 36,000, and that's already been out for a week and a half. The Kicker was the week before that, the X50S, that one's at 54,000.
That's
But
pretty good.
these cheap ones, man, they
Yeah, they
just they
kill.
just do so much better. It's like Rob said, just do one a month. And I think that's what I'm gonna try to plan. The Woody. Does anybody want to guess without looking how many views the Woody has?
How many weeks ago was that?
Let's see. I don't. Does it say the date on here? Somebody's going to look right now while we're wasting time. It's been 68 days according to
Okay,
this.
so that's like six. mm, I mean,
It,
that's 8 weeks,
it's
a
yeah,
little
eight
over.
weeks.
It's probably like 200 and something thousand, I would
Not
imagine.
quite that good, but it's
Yeah,
155 671 according to what I see here.
that's pretty good.
That's definitely the biggest out of the past 10. But imagine this, that MBQ hybrid amp that had the uh,
Tube in it.
valves, yeah, the tubes
Yeah.
in it, 189 811, and that one's
Wow.
only like 3 week. Well, no more than three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was 8 weeks before, but none in between those two have gotten near, have even got over 100,000. So it's just, and that one's kind of weird because that one you can't really buy.
Yeah.
So I don't know
The
why
MB
that one
Core
did
one.
so well. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it
Different
struck the.
countries. I'd look at the. I bet
It
you it's
could
in
be, and of course, as Rob knows, you can get a lot of views from like India and places like that, but you get squat.
yeah.
You get like a few cents per thousand versus several dollars for some of the other stuff. Because the I've talked about this before too, but the massive audio, the big subwoofer, it was a lot of the views of it came from India, and I got literally nothing off of that.
Did I tell you when I done the Harbor Freight video that the CPM on it was $18 and 50
What?
cents? I know
What?
I thought I told you that.
No.
Yeah,
For what? What was the item?
it was the top 10 Harbor Freight. I could look it up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the CPM was like $18 at the same week it released. Let me see.
that is crazy.
I'd never seen anything like it. Or the RPM they call it. Okay, now it's down. Now it's like 694. But it was
Huh.
up to 18.
Sometimes the ones that say like Amazon.
Yeah.
That's why I do that. People say that's not an Amazon app. I'm like, yeah, but when you have Amazon in the title, then it gets higher. Um,
Hey,
it's higher
Amazon
rate.
is making sound editing now. What makes you think they won't make an amp?
Yeah, exactly. Where do you see the CPM in the app?
It's under
It's under
what-
reach,
no. Um
audience,
no, but it's all the way to the right.
all the way to the right. Revenue.
revenue, right?
Okay.
Earnings.
Oh, 880 on this last one.
That's
Harmony
good.
Audio.
That's really
That's
good.
pretty good for
Yeah.
car audio stuff. So that what we're talking about here, guys, just in case you don't know, that means for every 1,000 views, I made $8.80. So if I make 100,000 views, can somebody do the math real quick? Take
$8 million.
decimal over. $8.21 million. I will see y'all in the tropics.
Never.
I'm out of here. No, it's like $800 for 100,000 views. So it's
You want to see the best RPM ever? This is on the one where I threw away the banana Laffy Taffies.
what?
Did you ever watch that? Yeah, I made like a 30 or 10, 15-second video because we done the.
Oh, yes, I did see that. Yes, I did. What is the RPM on that one?
I don't know.
Can't
It's
see
going
it.
to focus.
It's not focused. Put your hand. I still can't.
It's
the
still
screen's
too
too
bright.
washed out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's $1.54.
Oh, it's better than 50 cents.
Yeah.
50 cent.
Yeah.
All right, geez. We done reached our limit, I think, for tonight. Y'all are
I can't
rocking
believe
it.
77 people are still watching.
Y'all are rocking it for hanging out with us in our blasey blahs.
Oh man, El Flaco subscribed to Kyle.
Ooh, we got 10.
I can't account for anything he says. That boy's 18 now, so.
We got to get on TikTok, Rob, before we lose out.
I've got a strategy for it.
Oh, I need to hear some because I don't have any ideas. But
I don't know how to work it though.
She just says you need to do vertical. I'm like, I don't like vertical videos.
You've been rallying against
I'll do some.
Years.
I saw Aaron from DS18 was showing his, and he got in the last month he got like 46 million views for DS18 on TikTok.
Wow.
46 million. I'm like, what? I know Sundown has done really good too because they put theirs up a few months ago.
Yeah.
And they're getting a ton. I know Jonathan Price gets a bunch, but he's just a chick magnet, so he don't have to do nothing but just smile.
What the problem is? All those people are selling a product.
That's
We'd
true.
just be doing it for free.
Yeah, that's true. Because what do you get out of it? I mean, well, if you get eyeballs that see your brand, that would help too. And I think that some of those people get monetized somehow. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I mean, we need to get us a TikTok expert on here to school us.
Yeah.
How we can do better. Anywho, thanks for everybody who stayed on long and those who listened through the podcast. Sorry to hear all our rambling and the after talk, but that's just how we do.
Yeah, and I'm not sorry.
We'll see you guys next week here with ShawnK, and remember to watch Rob and Dean tomorrow night on Reverse Polarity, but then also remember next Tuesday night on the Kicker Unmasked live stream, we're going to do the second part of the Kicker World Headquarters Tour, which will be lots of fun. Hope to see you there.
Yeah, and tomorrow, Dean bought a Dayton DSP to give away. Leave your comment on last week's video on what you would do with it if you want a chance to win it, and we will pick the winner tomorrow.
Awesome. Real quick, before we go, Emmanuel, yes, I watched Rad in the movie theater. Yes, when it came out back in 1986. Yes, I did watch it there, and I came home and wanted to ride even at like 10 o'clock at night when I was done because it was the beginning and the end is like the best part. I mean, the middle of it, some of it's okay, but the beginning and the end is the best. All right, fellas, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Later.